Okay, as they fill out the score sheet, I'm going to go through the Aurelia passage. So each member is going to have it. Aurelia, cui urbs placebat, erat in Aegypto cum familia sua ingenti et equo sua. Trenecum ludos Marios Iois in amphitheatro Alexandriae spectaba. Tandem, equus iratus domum recurre coite. Any questions about pronunciation, Certamen, meaning of life? I do pronounce the periods of abbreviation. I pronounce initial H's. I say 476 in it. Okay, welcome to the 2018 Yale Certamen Invitational Advanced Final Round. Toss-up 1. Just when the escalating attack was at its height, the tide began to ebb and the water gradually receded from the edge of the lagoon. Those who reached the wall of the lagoon, finding the battlements deserted, ascended them and occupied the wall without striking a blow. The defenders having never conceived it possible that the enemy would reach the wall from the lagoon. Incorrect. I'll repeat. Just when the escalating attack was at its height, the tide began to ebb and the water gradually receded from the edge of the lagoon. Those who reached the wall from the lagoon, finding the battlements deserted, ascended them and occupied the wall without striking a blow. The defenders having never conceived it possible that the enemy would reach the wall from the lagoon. This edited translation of Polybius describes the capture of what city in 209 BC? Scipio. That's correct. Your bonus. Through brilliant generalship, Scipio continued to find success, including at what battle of 206 BC, where he defeated Hasdrubal Gisco and expelled the Carthaginians from Spain. That's correct. Bonus 2. At what Spanish city did Scipio Africanus receive the Carthaginians' official surrender? At what Spanish city did Scipio Africanus receive the Carthaginians' official surrender? Gades or Cadiz is correct. So that's the full 20 points for Team A on toss-up 1. Moving on to toss-up 2. Translate into English. Tam difficula est aliis saturam non scribere, quam aliis saturam intellect.
It is as difficult for some to not write satire as for others to understand satire.
That's correct. Your bonus. Translate into English. Juvenalis saturam facilius scripsit, quam alii nomina sua scribere possunt.
Can you repeat?
Translate into English. Juvenalis saturam facilius scripsit, quam alii nomina sua scribere possunt.
Alright. Juvenal wrote satire more easily than others wrote their names.
That's correct. Your second bonus. Translate into English. Nisi opera a Romanis scripta haberemus, ignoraremus quam solsi Romani ipsi fuissent.
Can you repeat?
Translate into English. Nisi opera a Romanis scripta haberemus, ignoraremus quam solsi Romani ipsi fuissent.
If we did not have works written by the Romans, we would not know how witty the Romans themselves had been.
That's correct. For the full 20 points for Team B on toss-up 2. Moving on to toss-up 3. For the following Latin works, distinguish which were written by Cato the Elder and which were written by Valerius Cato. Origenes, Dictina, Lydia, Apoph.
82. So, Origenes Alpha, the formula of by Cato the Elder, Dictina and Lydia were by Valerius Cato.
That's correct. Your first bonus. Do the same for the following works of Varro Rheatinus and Varro Itacinus. Lucadia, Bellum sequanicum de lingua latina disciplinae. Lucadia, bellum sequanicum de lingua latina disciplinae. I need an answer, please.
Tania was written by Bradenton, as well as Bellum Sequanicum, which was written by Bradenton. And then De Lingua Latina was written by Bradenton. And Disciplina was written by Bradenton.
That's correct. Your second comment. Do the same for the following works of Virius Flaccus and Valerius Flaccus. Argonautica, Rerum Etruscarum Libri, Fausti, De Verborum Significatu. Argonautica, Rerum Etruscarum Libri, Fausti, De Verborum Significatu. I need an answer, please.
So, Argonautica was written by Valerius Flaccus. Rerum Libri, that second one, was written by Varius. Fausti was written by Arius. And De Verborum Significatu was written by Varius.
That's correct. So the full 20 points for Team A on toss-up 3. Moving on to toss-up 4. The descendants of Clito and Poseidon benevolently ruled what legend? I cannot accept that. I'll repeat. The descendants of Clito and Poseidon benevolently ruled what legendary island for many generations, until their divine blood was diluted and they tyrannically attempted to conquer the rest of the world. I'll repeat. The descendants of Clito and Poseidon benevolently ruled what legendary island for many generations, until their divine blood was diluted and they tyrannically attempted to conquer the rest of the world. Incorrect. I've read it here twice. I'm going to call time. I need Atlantis. Okay, moving on to toss-up 5. Listen carefully to the following short, emphasis on the short, excerpt from Juvenal, which I'll read twice, then answer in English the question that follows. Prima fere vota et cunctis notissima templis divitiae crescant ut opes ut maxima tata nostra sit arca fora. I'll repeat. Prima fere vota et cunctis notissima templis divitiae crescant ut opes ut maxima toto nostra sit arca fora. The question. According to the passage, what is almost always first prayed for at temples?
Money.
That's correct. Bonus 1. Now listen to this short excerpt from Juvenal, which I will read twice, then answer in English the question that follows. Expectant ergo tribuni, vinciant divitiae, sacro ne cedat honori, nuper in hoc urban pedibus qui venerat albis. I'll repeat. Expectant ergo tribuni, vinciant divitiae, sacro ne cedat honori, nuper in hoc urban pedibus qui venerat albis. The question, using your knowledge of Roman life, tell me what specific sort of person the passage's narrator does not want to attain the sacred office.
Slaves.
That's correct. Bonus 2. Now listen to this short excerpt from Juvenal, which I will read twice, then answer in English the question that follows. Tibi non committitur aurum, vel si quando datur, custos affixus ibidem, qui numerans gemmas, unqueis observat acutos. I'll repeat. Tibi non committatur aurum, vel, si quando datur, custos affixus ibidem, qui numerat gemmas, unqueis observat acutos. The question. When the passage's addressee possesses a golden cup, for what two specific reasons is a guard placed over him or her?
To count the gems and consider the
I need an answer, please.
To count the gems and observe the sharp fingernails.
That's correct. So that's the full 20 points for Team B on toss of 5, after which we'll have a score check.
All right, so after the first 5 questions, our scores are as follows. Team A, Brookfield Academy, Team A has 40 points. Team B, Boston Latin School, Team 2 has 40 points. And Team C, Bradenton, has yet to score.
Moving on to toss of 6. The 12 Avla, the locus fortunae, and the signs of the zodiac are all subjects covered by what authors?
Menelaus.
That's correct.
Mr.
What author's 5-book didactic astronomical poem? Bonus 1. Menelaus echoes what school of philosophy in the Astronomica?
Stoicism.
That's correct. Bonus 2. What adopted son of Tiberius wrote the Aratea and Prognostica, both were workings opponed by Aratus?
Germanicus.
That's correct. The full 20 points for Team B on toss-up 6. Moving on to toss-up 7. Consider the following noun forms: Crus, Tigridos, Lacus, Heroa, Boila. Which of those forms, if any, cannot be accusative?
C2, Tigridos.
That's correct. Cannot be accusative. Bonus 1 for Team C. Consider the following adjective forms: piantissimus, intimum, falsissima, candidissimus, maturima. Which of those forms, if any, is not a valid superlative form? Piantissimus, intimum, falsissima, candidissimus, maturima.
Intimum.
All are valid superlative forms. Your second bonus. Consider the following pronoun forms: quaevis, quismion, equis, equilum, quodcumque. Which of those forms, if any, is not indefinite?
Please repeat the list.
Quaevis, quismion, equis, equilum, quodcumque.
Equilum.
That's correct. That's 15 points for Team C on toss-up 7. Moving on to toss-up 8. What aged emperor, who ruled for 6 months after...
83.
Incorrect. I'll repeat for the other 2 teams. What aged emperor, who ruled for 6 months after being chosen by the Senate, won impressive victories against the Goths and the Alans before his death in 275 AD? Incorrect. I'll repeat for Team C. What aged emperor, who ruled for 6 months after being chosen by the Senate, won impressive victories against the Goths and the Alans before his death in 275 AD? I've read it through twice. I'm going to call time. We're looking for Tacitus. No points on toss-up 8. Moving on to toss-up 9. Qua Latina abbreviatura indicat hominem sine liberis?
81.
That's correct. qua Latina abreviatura indicat hominem sine liberis mortuum esse. Your bonus. Qua Latina abreviatura imperat ut aequotus medicinam antequietem accipiat. That's correct. Your second bonus. Qua Latina abreviatura edocet quis hanc statuam fecerit. Qua Latina abreviatura edocet quis hanc statuam fecerit. No, I need sculpt. S-C-U-L. Because I need the statue specifically. Hanc statuam. So that's 15 points for Team A on toss of 9. Moving on to toss of 10. As a large ship loomed in the distance, what queen put on the armor of her father Thoas and called... That's correct. And called the Lemnian women to arms, though her worries were assuaged when Athalides approached and asked for hospitality on behalf of the Argonauts. Your first bonus. What nurse of Sibylla convinced her to allow the Argonauts to stay and to sleep with them in order to ensure that a new generation would rise to populate the island? That's correct. Your second bonus. Hypsipyla was later exiled because it was discovered that she had saved her father from the murder of all the men on the island. She then became the nursemaid of what king of Nemea, whose son would soon be ominously named the bringer of doom? No, I need Lycurgus. So that is 15 points for Team A on toss-up 10. After which, we'll have a score check.
All right, my friends. At halftime, the scores are as follows. Team A, Brookfield Academy, has 70 points. Team B, Boston Latin School, has 60 points. And Team C, Bradenton, has 15 points.
Moving on to toss of 11. They say that all roads lead to Rome. However, they seem to have forgotten about which Roman road that ran from Aramina. Incorrect. I'll repeat for the other two teams. They say that all roads lead to Rome. However, they seem to have forgotten about which Roman road that ran from Aramina to Placentia. I'll repeat. They say that all roads lead to Rome. However, they seem to have forgotten about which Roman road that ran from Aramina to Placentia. Incorrect. I've read it through twice. I'm going to call time. We need the Via and Ilia. That's no point for any team on toss of 11. Moving on to toss of 12. Differentiate in meaning among both, dose, and...
So those is salary, boast is power, and roast is due.
That's correct. Your first bonus. Differentiate in meaning among moose, rus, and tus.
So moose, mouse, roos is outside, spring,
That's correct. Your second bonus. Give two entirely distinct meanings for the adverb fere.
Can you spell fair?
F-E-R long E.
Almost by chance.
No, I need almost and fiercely or wildly. So that's 15 points for Team A on toss of 12. Moving on to toss of 13. Who emigrated to Rhodes with his sister to avoid the risk of patricide, but eventually killed his father Catri. Althymnes is correct. Sorry. But eventually killed his father Catreus when the old man came to Rhodes in an attempt to leave his Cretan kingdom to his son and was mistaken for a pirate. Your first bonus. What sister did Althymnes take with him to Rhodes, but later came to death after she was raped by Hermes and became pregnant? That's correct. Bonus 2. What happened to Althymnes after he killed his father? That's correct. For the full 20 points for Team A on toss-up 13. Moving on to toss-up 14. Translate into completely alliterative Latin. They deny that sailors are unable to obtain new nuns.
Negans, Nautas, Necure, Non-Kiski, Novas, Nouns.
That's incorrect.
Negan, Nautas, Nequire, Nankiski, Noas Nubes.
Incorrect. I'll repeat. Translate into completely alliterative Latin. They deny that sailors are unable to obtain new knots.
Negant, nautas, nequire, nankiski, novos, nodos.
That's correct. Your first bonus. Now translate into completely alliterative Latin. I summoned my neighbors to keep the two-headed snake off from the field.
Can you repeat the sentence?
I summoned my neighbors to keep the two-headed snake off from the field. I need an answer.
Arcasivi ad fines ad anguem ancipitem agro arcendum.
1 second, please. That's correct. Your second bonus. Finally, translate into completely alliterative Latin. Because he had seen their tracks, the seer was able to avoid the watchman.
Could you repeat?
Yes. Because he had seen their tracks, the seer was able to avoid the watchman.
Was able to avoid.
I need an answer, please.
Vestiges, vicis, vates, valuit, vidules, vitare.
That's correct. That's the full 20 points for Team B on toss-up 14. Moving on to toss-up 15. He should be a man of letters, a skillful draftsman, a mathematician, familiar with scientific inquiries, a diligent student of philosophy, acquainted with music. The 10-book treatise of What Augustan Soldier offers this.
Vitruvius.
That's correct. Offers this as the definition of the ideal architect. Bonus 1. An 8-book treatise modeled on the work of Hippocrates is the only surviving work of what encyclopedist of the early Roman Empire?
Celsus.
That's correct. Your second bonus. What other early Roman author, a freedman from Thrace, authored 10 books in a particular genre based on the work of Aesop?
Avianus.
Okay, we're going to give you a replacement bonus because it was in fact Phaedrus, and you wrote 4 books. So, we're going to give you a literature bonus. Okay, so we're going to read you the replacement, but instead of a bonus, we're going to give you the replacement literature toss-up as a bonus. So I'm going to read you what would have been a toss-up as a bonus. You answer it as a bonus. What work of Latin literature refutes comments made around 150 AD by the rhetoric in Fronto, using the pagan Caecilius Natalis as a puppet to defeat in a debate umpired by the author Minucius Felix?
Octavius.
That's correct, for the full 20. So that's the full 20 points for Team B on toss-up 15, after which we will have a score check.
Great. After 15 questions, here are the scores. Team A, Brookfield Academy, has 105 points. Team B, Boston Latin School, has 100 points. And Team C, Bradenton, has 15 points.
Moving on to toss-up 16. The English adjective corrugated is... That's correct. Is derived from what Latin noun with what meaning? Bonus 1. The English noun jellyfish is derived from what Latin noun with what meaning? That's correct. Your second bonus. The English noun paunch, is derived. The English noun paunch, P-A-U-N-C-H, is derived from what Latin noun with what meaning? I need context, belly, or stomach. So that's 15 points for Team A on toss-up 16. Moving on to toss-up 17. Founded either by Zeus on the site where he wrestled Cronus and won supremacy over the gods, or by Heracles the Dactyl after his emigration from Mount Ida, what event? That's correct. Held every 4 games, honored its winners with crowns of wild olives. Bonus 1. During the first Olympic Games, who outran Hermes and defeated Ares at boxing? At the first Olympic Games, who outran Hermes and defeated Ares at boxing? I need an answer.
I defer to B2.
That's correct. Bonus 2. What other athletic competition, which took place at the same location, was open only to women? I need an answer, please. No, I need the Hawaiian Games. So that's 15 points for Team B on toss-up 17. Toss-up 18. Signis receptis, Armenia recepta, and Kiwibus et Signi... Incorrect. Signis receptis, Armenia recepta, and Kiwibus et Signis militaribus aparthis recuperantis, were mottos used by Augustus to celebrate what Parthian king's surrender of the Roman standards lost at Carrhae? Arby. Signis receptis, Armenia recepta, and Kiwibus et Signis militaribus aparthis recuperantis, were mottos used by Augustus to celebrate what Parthian king's surrender? Incorrect. Incorrect. I need frates or frates before. So no points for any teams on toss-up 18. Moving on to toss-up 19. What author was the main intermediary between antiquity and the Middle Ages due to his translations of Aristotle, Incorrect. I'll repeat. What author was the main intermediary between antiquity and the Middle Ages to his translations of Aristotle, his advocacy of the quadrivium, and his composition of a philosophical work while imprisoned by the Gothic?
Boethius.
No, we cannot accept. I'll repeat for Team A, for Team C. What author was the main intermediary between antiquity and the Middle Ages due to his translations of Aristotle, his advocacy of the quadrivium, and his composition of a philosophical work while imprisoned by the Gothic king Theodoric, entitled De Consolatione Philosophiae? That's correct.
Isn't that just
That sounds to me like Boeotius, which I think is a very distinct answer.
oh,
Like Boeotia,
yeah.
Greece. So, your first bonus. Boethius' De Institutione Musica owes much to what Christian author, Treviri, often called the father of church song? Incorrect, I need St. Ambrose. Your second bonus. What other Roman Empire author wrote a Chronica from Adam to the year 519, in addition to Institutiones, a two-book encyclopedic handbook on sacred and profane literature, and De Orthographia? De Orthographia. No, I need Cassiodorus. Yes, we'll mark that down as a challenge, and especially since we are going into toss-up 20, we'll have a score check, and then I'll read my prepared statement.
All right, before the final toss-up, here are the scores as I have them. Team A, Brookfield Academy, has 120 points. Team B, Boston Latin School, has 115 points. And Team C, Bradenton, has 25 points. Now, should I start the one? You say your prepared statement.
So, I will now pause for 1 full minute to allow any outstanding challenges from toss-ups 1 to 19 to be raised. After this pause, only challenges on toss-up 20 may be raised. Are there any other outstanding challenges? Okay. Moving on to toss-up 20. And can we have the scores one more time?
All right, the scores remain as they were exactly 1 minute ago. We've got Team A, Brookfield Academy, with 120 points. Team B, Boston Latin School, with 115 points. And Team C, Bradenton, with 25 points.
Toss-up 20. The phrases edita regibus.
Price.
Incorrect.
Hello, source.
That's correct. The phrases edita regibus, genitae plantione, and renus orator ex lepontiis all depict what use of the ablative. Source, or origin. Bonus 1. What use of the ablative is found in this sentence, adapted from Cicero's De Finibus Bonorum and Valorem? Gubernatoris ars, quia navigandi rationem habet, utilitate non arte laudatur.
Cause.
That's correct. Your second point. Translate that sentence.
Can you repeat the sentence, please?
Gubernatores ars, quia naviganti rationem habet, utilitate non arte laudator.
The art of the navigator, because it has the calculation of sailing, is praised because of its utility and not art.
That's correct. So that's the full 20 points to Team B on toss of 20. And can we have our final score, please?
All right, give me just a sec. So we have in third place with 25 points, Bradenton. In second place with 120 points, Brookfield Academy. And in first place with 135 points, Boston Latin School.